The day is finally here. We've been counting down to the state of war in Uttar Pradesh. Weeks of intense Rajniti culminates with the first phase of polling today. The Jat-dominated belt, Western Uttar Pradesh, is up for grabs today. Top netas from all parties have made all attempts to woo voters of Western Uttar Pradesh. It goes to polls today in the first of 7 phases. BJP big guns like Amit Shah, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, JP Nadda, Prime Minister Modi himself, they campaigned extensively in Western Uttar Pradesh. Akhilesh and Jayant Chaudhary of the RLD, forming an alliance, held multiple joint campaigns to woo the voters of Western Uttar Pradesh. The people of Uttar Pradesh will vote for 58 seats, 11 districts and over 623 candidates. BJP dominated the 58 seats that are going to polls today with 46% of the votes last time around. BSP was a distant second with 22% votes, followed by SP with 21% votes. So the BJP and their allies swept 53 out of the 58 seats. SP and allies won just 3 seats. The BSP won a meager 2 seats. The SP is hoping that this time around, with their alliance with RLD Chief Jayant Chaudhary, things will turn around, besides the fact that they believe that anger over the farm laws could also help them in some way. And the BJP, that's why, went all out to woo voters in Western Uttar Pradesh. And India Today, as promised, will get you the most comprehensive election coverage. We've got our reporters joining us early this morning with all the updates you need to know. Joining me from Gautam Buddha Nagar or Noida is Ashutosh Mishra. Aishwarya Paliwal is reporting live from Aligarh, and from Agra, we have Shreya Chatterjee joining us here. Ashutosh, I want to begin with you. Good morning. Up early this morning, and I can see already that a lot of people are gathered behind you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good morning, Akshita, and to all our viewers. And here, India Today, bringing you ground reports from all across Uttar Pradesh, and particularly the 11 districts which are going to poll. And that's exactly what I'm saying, that enthusiasm amongst the voters. Since morning, the polling is scheduled at 7 o'clock. But here, look at this. 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. onwards, I've seen the enthusiastic voters turned out in quite good number. Now, Gautam Buddha Nagar being demographically, which constitutes the semi-cosmopolitan city, which has the semi-urban voters, also the rural belt particularly. And then out of 11 districts, this is going to be one of the most significant, as it's adjoining to the Delhi NCR, connecting to the national capital. Now, when we talk about Noida, multiple seats where it has the, the Dalit vote bank, where it has the Muslim vote bank, it also has the traders, community industries, everything. Also, as I said, the semi-cosmopolitan city. So that makes Gautam Buddha Nagar really significant. And where we have in the fray, the BJP has its MP, the BJP has its MLAs, and this time when the SP, the RLD backs them, clearly, particularly on these, the seats where the SP has largely the candidates, that makes the battle really challenging. And as we see the bipolar contest in the UP Assembly election, that makes Gautam Buddha Nagar really significant. The good turnout of the voter indeed, as they are celebrating the festival of the democracy, and that explains that this time, the previous record of 2017, the poll percentage is likely to break. Despite the chilly winter, here I see a good turnout of the voters outside the polling center. Back to you, Akshita.
Okay, let me get in an update from Aligarh. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us live from the district. Aishwarya, Western UP is going to be perhaps one of the most interesting battles this election season, because you had the SP and RLD going all out to woo the Jat voter. If you look at how Aligarh voted previously, it was BJP all the way in the previous election, and in fact, BSP came in second, SP was a distant third, but this time a resurgent SP with that alliance is hoping to create some serious dent to the votes of the BJP.
Well, definitely, but let me start by showing you exactly what's taking place. The EVMs are in place, the candle has been lit. Now, all the people here are checking the machines, because Akshita, time and again, we have been seeing how political parties used to say that there is a fault lying with the voting machines, but we are showing you the seal which is being broken here. The candle is being used. So all the people who have been involved, they are making sure that they take signatures of all the polling booth agents. At the moment, no one has entered the booth because, the machines are still at work. The seal is being broken. You see the candle being used there. Now they will mark it. And once the marking is done, that's when the polling, at least here, will begin. But this is just one room. There are 4 such rooms. We'll go outside and we'll show you the kind of preparations which have been made in place. See, outside every polling booth, along with the photographs of those who are fighting, all the details have been put right outside by the Election Commission to tell the voters who's contesting and on which symbol. Now, we also understand that there are demarcations which have been made. This room is for the males and that room is for the females. See, it's a chilly winter morning here in Aligarh, and let me tell you, we are seeing the early birds, the people who are willing to cast the vote. Akshata, it's almost 7:10 and we are seeing people standing in queues. People are going inside, they are voting. So we definitely can see the enthusiasm here. Let me tell you, Akshata, one thing which Aligarh has seen is just 60-65% vote in 2012 as well as in 2017. That is something which the Election Commission and the officers, along with the parties, are trying to make sure that the voting percentage goes up this time. How much will it go up by? Time will only tell, but yes, we do see some enthusiasm here in these 2 queues, and in the 3rd room, we are seeing the machines being prepared.
And I hope that enthusiasm stays on, and do we work on that voter percentage, keeping our fingers crossed that, in an early winter morning, when so many people are forming a line, that remains through the day as well. I want to quickly introduce also my colleague Abhishek Mishra. He's joining us live from Mathura. Abhishek, where you're standing, of course, a lot of the campaign of Uttar Pradesh has been focused on Mathura, on Vrindavan. There was even buzz at one point that perhaps Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath could choose that seat to contest. So Mathura itself is very crucial. The BJP has been playing on the sentiment of Krishna Janmabhoomi to get votes.
Well, absolutely, and that is what very evident throughout the campaign in Uttar Pradesh. And Mathura has time and again been called by the top leaders, be it the issue of temple or significance as far as elections is concerned. I'm right now just outside one of the polling booths in Mathura. It's the Tehra Vikas Khand, and you can see that the voters have started to come. The voting will begin shortly. Every preparation has been made here. And on this particular booth, approximately 1,100, more than that, voters are there on this particular booth. The fight in Mathura is very intense because the Power Minister, Shrikant Sharma, is in the battle against the Congress candidate, that is Pradeep Mathur, which is going to be a very interesting battle. And also, yes, of course, the SP candidate Devendra Agarwal. And other 5 seats, the total 5 seats in Mathura are going to be on stake, which includes Govardhan, Baldev, Mant and Chhata. And also the Minister Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary from Chhata constituency. So it looks like that Mathura is very significant as far as this election is concerned. After, we have seen Ayodhya, Kashi, it was all about Mathura. The campaign was also around it, and the BJP top leaders have always been very vocal about making Mathura another Ayodhya. But aside from this political context, Mathura indeed has been a major changer as far as the political scenario is concerned. The Jat vote, as well as the Muslims and all those communities came along together in the previous elections and have voted for the BJP. But this time, the situation has changed with the alliance, and of course, in particular in Mathura, the presence of Congress leader Pradeep Mathur. So it is going to be a tough battle, and the voting is about to begin for the very important first phase here in Mathura. Yes.
Let me go across to Shreya. Shreya Chatterjee is reporting from neighbouring Agra also. Shreya, what's happening there? Has polling kicked off?
Well, yes, Akshata, polling has kicked off in this polling station located in Agra, Kant's Shehzadi Mandi. You can see people lining up, senior citizens, and polling is already started over here. Now, Agra has seen a very interesting election this time because the BSP particularly is expecting to do a comeback from what happened in 2017. This was a BSP bastion. The BJP, however, snatched away all those 9 seats in 2017, and the SP and RLD, they're expecting to break their Agra jinx. The other side also I want to show about that, there's heavy security that's also currently there in these polling stations. The officers are on the ground to ensure that all sensitive polling booths are also checked. This is one of the booths where the BJP candidate from Agra Rural, Baby Rani Maurya, will also in a short while be seen to come and cast her vote. So interesting interesting election here in Agra. What will pan out will obviously be seen on the 10th of March, but early voters already out and very enthusiastic crowd that we also see from the city of Agra.
Okay, Shreya, request you to stay on with us. Request to Aishwarya, Ashutosh, Abhishek and all other reporters to be with us. I just want to also tell our viewers on why this phase is so crucial for every political party. The battle for Western Uttar Pradesh. You've got the BJP, the SP-RLD alliance, all of them eyeing that crucial Jat vote in the region. The SP is counting on farmer anger over the farm laws. If there's one part of Uttar Pradesh that saw protests over the farm laws, it was in Western Uttar Pradesh. You've got the BJP taking on the SP over a slew of issues, particularly the 2013 riots, saying that they've ended that kind of violence and the dangagiri that you saw in Western Uttar Pradesh. The question, of course, everyone's asking is who will have the final edge in Western UP? Today, the people decide.
In the high-stakes UP Dangal, parties have pulled out all stops to woo one make or break region, Western Uttar Pradesh, which holds 136 of the 403 seats, is up for voting in the first phase. Western UP is the state's richest and most developed region and could have a decisive say in who rules the state. In 2017, the BJP swept the Jat-dominated belt by winning 91% of the seats, a sharp rise from the 20 seats the party won in 2012 to 109. The Jat community constitutes nearly 18% of the region's population and are influential in 120 seats. Jats have voted in large numbers for the BJP in 2014, 2017 and 2019. 2013 riots in Muzaffarnagar broke the long-standing Jat-Muslim alliance in this part of UP and brought the Jats into the BJP fold for the first time in 2014. This election could also have been a clear victory for the BJP in Western UP. But the Saffron Party is nervous, especially after a year-long agitation over the three contentious farm laws, which also impacted the Western UP farmers along with Punjab. Lakhimpur Kheri showdown, where a union minister's son allegedly ran his vehicle over farmers, is also located in Western UP. From Amit Shah meeting the Jat leaders to even putting out an offer on the table to RLD chief Jayant Chaudhary, the BJP's bid to control damage is apparent. Farmers' issues in UP include delay in sugarcane payments to inflation and diesel prices. The BJP continues to highlight its law and order track record, welfare and mandir. The BJP's principal challenger is the Samajwadi Party, which tied up with the Rashtriya Lok Dal, a party that represents Jats. Akhilesh Yadav hopes to convert the Jat vote in its favour with this tie-up. The big X-factor will be Mayawati. Her party is a strong contender in 20 seats with a large Dalit population. But while Mayawati's caste, Jatavs, had rallied behind her in the 2017 polls, non-Jatav Dalits have been shifting to the BJP over the last 7 years. Will the BSP vote share shrink further? A lot depends on that. The do-or-die multi-corner fight could throw some surprises. Bureau Report, India Today.
With Western Uttar Pradesh on the cards today and up for grabs for every single political party, the BJP, the SP, the RLD, BSP, all of them know how crucial this region is and how this time it could swing anyway. Ashutosh Mishra is joining us live from Gautam Buddha Nagar. We've got, of course, our battery of reporters spread across Western UP to get your perspective of what's really happening. Ashutosh, it's in urban areas like Gautam Buddha Nagar, like Noida, that the BJP is hoping that they can really consolidate their vote base.
And it has, demographically, just not only the urban population, because there are several other the rural constituencies. It also includes as very well. And clearly, we have seen the domination of the BJP in the previous election, 2017. But this time, what makes, when we know the Western UP being the center of the, laboratory, political laboratory, a lot of experience, political experiments being done. Now, significant is that Noida was the place, Noida, Ghaziabad, where I have seen almost a year-long farmers' agitation. And that was the suffering, not only for the farmers, but also for the people of Noida, Delhi, Ghaziabad, NCR. So that was the one significant. Subsequently, because the polarization that we talk about that often happens in the Western Uttar Pradesh, it also influenced the demographic vote bank of the Gautam Buddha Nagar, as well being the 5 assembly constituency, 5 assembly pockets of Gautam Buddha Nagar. When we talk about the polarization, now that the political experts would like to explain that whether it is going on the religious line or whether it is divided on the caste line, because clearly when we talk, people talk about the issues, but when the polling day comes like today, clearly the polarization, the people are polarized. They have decided already their mandate, and now the fate will be sealed today in the EVM box. Now the political commentator would like to say that this could be perhaps on the religious line, often happens in the Western Uttar Pradesh, but moreover we have seen this time the talk about the caste line. This could also be one influencing factor in the politics of Western Uttar Pradesh, including this Gautam Buddha Nagar. And now here, let me take you to the images. Since 6 o'clock, ever since I reached here, I saw the huge number of the voters turn out. As you rightly said, the same, the urban population, the voters, young voters particularly, very enthusiastic and coming out in a huge number. Good sign of the democracy, as people are quite happy to celebrate this festival. Akshita.
I also want to focus on the Jat voter. Aishwarya, this voter base or the Jat voters are going to be very, very crucial. I don't have Aishwarya with me, but if I can take that question across to Abhishek also about, how crucial the Jat voter is. They have, and many voices that we've got here on India Today also seem to suggest that they are disgruntled with the BJP. Add to that the factor of Jain Chaudhary, the factor of RLD. And that's why you've got the BJP going all out in the campaign for Western Uttar Pradesh. You had the Prime Minister, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Amit Shah, all the big guns going ahead with their campaign.
Well, certainly, Akshita, at this time, Jat voter has always been a very important, community, specifically in Western Uttar Pradesh. But this time, the things were changing with the fact how the SVRLD alliance came together, and they were trying to play on the same, arithmetic, that is a Muslim and the Jat, coalition. That factor is something which BJP was afraid of, and we've seen earlier also that how all these top leaders got on the ground. They were convincing the Jat leaders about, whatever action has been taken. They wanted their faith, in the sense that they were very much aware of the fact that these seats could possibly be a big challenge for the BJP if the things are not into the favor. So that is one thing. On the other hand, they, be it the farm laws, the repeal of farm laws and other issues have always, affected this belt. But Mathura significantly has more other issues as well. It's about electricity, it's about the transportation, it's about the education, it's about more about the cleanliness. So all these issues have always been prevalent. But yes, the Jat factor is something which every party was keen on, be it the BJP or the Samajwadi Party alliance, and that itself is a major challenge for both of them. And specifically for the first phase, it's going to play a vital role as far as electoral battle is concerned. And both the parties has done their job in order to convince their community and to get their mandate in their favor by conducting a dialogue and sending the top leaders to the grassroots, so that that kind of damage control could be made as far as BJP is concerned.
There are a number of issues that have been talked about in the course of this election season. Many of them are integral to western Uttar Pradesh. You look at what's happening in Mathura. Lord Krishna and the politics around the god was raised by both the BJP, the SP, the Jat vote, the farm laws. All of that is creaky and integral to what happens in western Uttar Pradesh. This phase is very crucial for all political parties, and we here at India Today will be getting you all the live updates as the voting has kicked off. Thanks for the moment to Ashutosh, Aishwarya, Shreya and Abhishek for joining us with all of those details. Stay tuned to us here on India Today for unmatched election coverage.